Okay, so Christian, the big question, is the campus dead? What do you think?
It is a huge question, and it's actually one that I'm hearing more and more, and I think opinions have changed. My opinion's slightly changed. I think certainly if we were recording this and having a chat probably a year ago, it would be looking slightly more possible that the campus was dead for some universities. There's a lot of talk at the time, back in March, April, when the world was going slightly mad, that actually the future of higher education would be all online for various reasons, and certainly that was the move at the start. But my view is I don't think it is dead. There's lots of reports that are coming through now. I don't know whether you've seen them around. It's one or the other. So it's all online, it's all virtual, and that's the future because that's what everybody wants. Or it's not at all. We're just going to go back to where we were once we're all unlocked and forget the last year ever happened. And I just don't think it's one or the other. I think it's unfortunately a bit more nuanced than that. So I think there are lots of challenges facing the campus, which will mean some of the elements may not be back as they were. There's always the funding thing. There's the importance of unlocking it after COVID and getting the confidence of people coming back, so making it safe. There's still ambiguity over tuition fee freezes and the impact on that, overseas students and the figures around whether they're going to come back again because they're key sources of funding. And also I think the way the campus probably will look like will be quite different. Certainly in my world, where we're talking about construction and property projects, the ways of delivering the big schemes may well change. But I think to say it's completely dead probably misses one of the main reasons why people go to university. I mean, it is about getting a degree, but it's not only about getting a degree. And I think appetite from students, I've seen quite a few surveys where I think as the lockdown has gone on for slightly longer than we all thought,
yes,
the initial appetite and enthusiasm for all online has probably waned a bit, and a lot of students now are just wanting to get back, meet their friends and grow their network. I mean, one of the things also that probably knocks on to my world is in your terms, of course, say they make the campus secure, and everybody comes back. Will everybody come back? What are you picking up on this sort of employment side?
Yeah, I think that, that's a good question, because I think that you're right in terms of hybrids almost a bit binary and it being one or the other. I think it's going to be nuanced and blended, and I think the staffing side is probably going to see that, because actually we're seeing that students are probably going to want to come back, because it's only when you realise what you've lost when you haven't had it, particularly for a long period of time. But there's, on the other side, the staff have enjoyed flexibility. Not all of the staff, but some of the staff have enjoyed the flexibility of being able to work off campus or in different places. Some are overseas, whether that's by choice because they can't return. And so I think it's going to be a transition out of lockdown. And I know Boris has said the 21st of June, but there's not going to be a mass influx on the 21st of June. I think universities need to have a different roadmap to recognise where the position that individuals are in. And there's going to be a meeting in the middle really needed in terms of what the individual students and staff preferences and what they need from their course and the delivery and the requirements versus the university, isn't there, both in terms of its preference and need, its move to a blended model. And hopefully there's a match there, but I don't think it's going to be there on the 21st of June. And it might not be there for quite a long time after, but I think most of the clients that I'm talking to, it's an opportunity to think about agile working, and then that goes back into your line of work in terms of what the space is going to be like, in terms of when I go onto campus and staff go onto campus, I want to collaborate. I've been at home or on my own, so now I want to collaborate, and I suppose you're talking about with clients in relation to that as well.
Yes, a lot of third parties now are keen to do that. I mean, outside the university sector, so companies are facing similar challenges, not least cost pressures. So I think their appetite for taking on huge spaces on their own may well slightly change. So they will be keen to do more on campus with third parties and with other universities. And that probably taps into the employability agenda as well. So if you've got third parties on campus, it really is attractive for the university, its students and its academic partners as well. So I think there'll probably be quite a lot more than that. And also, which I touched on earlier, delivering the capital projects, which I think they still will need to do, because it's still going to be very competitive, probably even more so to attract the best staff and students. They also need the physical estate in some cases. I just think
it's a great opportunity, isn't it? I think,
Yes.
more than anything. But there will be challenges with it. But I think there is a great opportunity for universities at the moment.
I think that's the one advantage of this pandemic, is it's brought that situation to a head almost, whereby the universities have had to start to make the decisions that they may have maybe taken longer to make or put off. It's sort of brought it to a head. So I don't think it's all negative at all. I just think it will look slightly different, but it's not all online. I mean, online has massive advantages, doesn't it, for staff and students, and particularly if you're older and you're working and you're part-time, and that's really, really good, and it does give universities global reach. I completely accept all of that, but I don't think one size doesn't fit all.
No.
And certain employees and academic staff who teach, say, science or engineering, you can't do all of that online. You still need a physical estate to deliver that curriculum. So I think it's probably too simplistic to say this is the beginning or the end of the campus, really.
No, it isn't. And I think it's it increases workload, doesn't it, when it's not one size fits all, particularly for HR colleagues that I'm talking to in terms of catering for that, but and colleagues that you're talking to in the States. But yeah, it is an opportunity, and I think that's probably a good place to conclude in terms of thinking about those things and the challenges, but opportunities that there are. Good to talk.
Good to talk.